And today we're reviewing Outrun. No, we're not going to do that. Just a quick overview of some of the retro computers I've worked on. Just a real quick little ditty here. This is the famous, I've mentioned in other videos, the IBM Thinkpad 365 XD. I believe it came out in 95, 96. It did come with the CD-ROM. I retrofitted it with a actual floppy disk unit, which I was able to find the piece and just kind of piece it in there. It's not the actual module. If anybody knows where I can get the actual module that fits in there, it would fit a little bit better, then that would be great. As with all these 365s, this thin little piece here always breaks off anytime you mess with this bay. So be careful, because I think I've broken this off probably about a dozen times having to adjust the floppy, because it is just kind of sitting in there on Velcro. I need to use a different type of Velcro on it and get it so it sits. And what happens is the Velcro kind of, it slips off and pushes back, and the drive kind of slides back inside the bay. Very interesting on the inside of these laptops is you can actually open the lid like a car hood, or it's just neat. And of course, this is one I have done the modifications on. The solid state sits in here with the adapter. Believe it or not, the battery on this laptop actually works very, very good. It's God, like how many years is it? 25 years old, and the I'm not sure if it's a lithium cadmium or a lithium metal hydride, but the battery actually does function, and it'll last. Sometimes it'll give me up to an hour's worth of charge, which is surprising. I try not to use it like that because it's more of a nostalgia factor that the battery actually does work, but I'll leave it unplugged for now. Next up on the list we have, and excuse the crazy camera over here, I'm kind of one-handed right now, is the 755 CD. I'm not going to power this one up. It's pretty much the same as the other one. It's got roughly the same specs. The biggest difference is this one's got the 800 by 600 screen, which it is in screen stretch mode, but honestly it doesn't look horrid, as some people have said the scaling in these laptops was bad, but on these ThinkPads, I mean, at least on this one, I can barely see the difference between this one and this one, which is the 640 by 480 screen. This is a very difficult laptop to find. It's one I'm probably going to eventually resell, just because it's in such pristine condition, and I only really need one ThinkPad. And I really would like to have another 365D. So again, if you're interested, let me know and work something out. I can tell you this laptop's probably gonna sell for probably every bit of $500-600 or maybe more, considering it's all intact. And this is outfitted with a floppy drive. That's the way it came, and everything has been restored and fixed. It's actually got a brand new keyboard. It was new old stock. I was having problems with certain keys, and then these didn't even function, but this has all been reassembled. It's got a brand new memory card in it, so it is running at 40 megabytes, a whopping 40 megabytes maxed out of RAM. And the top on these does have that rubberized, what I like to call the sticky goo coating, because it just dissolves. I was able to kind of almost sand it and just work it down, and I mean, it's not sticky at all anymore. I mean, you can feel a little bit of residue on there, but it came out really well. There's a few spots on it where there's metal casing involved, where the paint's kind of come off. I've touched it up a few times, but it's just inherent of, I guess, the metal pieces that are on there. And this one also is in spectacular condition, comparing it to that one. Next up is, on an earlier video, I did do the Compaq 5280. Here it is, running Arkanoid still from my previous video. And lastly, which it's turned off on me, is the 5000 LTE laptop. It's got the floppy drive actually from this donor computer. I find this floppy drive works better than this one. Sometimes this one just doesn't want to read floppy disk for whatever reason. It does have the new hard drive installed, which I showed you the video on that, where I put the solid state adapter in there. And then the battery does show that it charges, but the minute you take it off of shore power, the laptop goes haywire. It does not like that battery at all for whatever reason. One little interesting thing too that you can do with these laptops, and I did not know this, you can actually take that out, and then from this one I can actually pop the battery out here. And oh no, are you supposed to do this? And it took me forever to figure this out, but You do that, and then you slide that little gimmick over, and it makes the front panel, except for this little piece here. But you have 2 battery packs, and it shows up on the display as a second battery pack. I obviously don't need 2 of them, and this battery pack actually does work as well, but you maybe get sometimes a minute, sometimes 10 minutes on it max. They need to be rebuilt, and again, I don't really see the point of it, but this just fits snugly back in there. But this laptop is in good condition. I did fix the little hatch thing, which, as you can see on this one, it falls down constantly. The snap isn't quite right on it, but I have this fixed now, salvaging parts from that one, and then obviously the condition of it is just absolutely impeccable. It's a great laptop to have. I was excited to have it. It does have one little issue with it, which it's hard to see here. Maybe if I exit to DOS, I try to show it on another video, and sometimes it's more apparent than others. Like right now, I can barely see it. It's just like these little green dots. I've been told lazy pixels or sleepy pixels, something to do with that. I don't know if there's other than putting a new screen in it. I don't. But honestly, sometimes they almost totally disappear, or they're almost invisible, and everything still looks totally great on the screen, as you can see. I mean, it's crystal clear. It's plenty of brightness. I mean, it probably could be a little bit brighter. I do have a few issues with the backlight sometimes. I find sometimes if I just lightly kind of squeeze here, it pops back. So it could be a capacitor or something in there that's causing it, or some kind of loose connection in there. But I don't move this around a lot. It's more of a museum piece for my area and my little retro station I've set up here. That's the laptops. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. See you next time on IJDM.